Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave original. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We got a lot going on. We got a lot of college football stuff. We got the police out here acting bad, right? Trying to figure out what's going on with some of these quarterbacks. But yesterday, we got a great slate of NFL football. And not only did we get a great slate of NFL football, we got a great slate of NFL football while still in the midst of the bye weeks, right? Where you're still looking up and being like, damn, where is that team? Like, oh, where are the Colts? The Colts got a week off after they took that ass whooping last week. And then it's like, damn, where are the Saints? And it was very disappointing for the rest of the NFL that the Saints didn't play, because if they did, somebody would win. You know what I mean? Like they bring joy all across America. They like a spirit squad. That's how I look at them. But I have to be honest. I'm talking about that great slate of games. It was really a great slate of games on paper, right? A lot of good matchups, a lot of intriguing matchups. Not that many like actual factual great games, but I did think the games were interesting. And look, the crown jewels of the weekend, I think that we would agree. The 2 games that we were most looking for were, actually we had 3 of them, but we're going to lock you out on 2 of them right now. The game of the week CBS had was Broncos and the Chiefs. Then we had the night game, the Lions and the Eagles. And because you guys are typically curious about these things, yes, I went to Nick's house for the Chiefs and the Broncos, and I left after the first quarter because I could tell it was getting a little bit tense. And then the 12-year-old, when I left, looked at me and said, so I'm going to have to deal with this all by myself? And unfortunately, darling, that was exactly what was going to happen, man, because it was like we wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way we could be there is by being annoying, right? My man got focused. He was in on that. So anyway, watched some of that game over there. Came back, watched the game at the crib. Also had Eagles and Lions that night. And sorry, I just had this moment where I got a little salty about the Lions losing again. But anyway, the macro overarching theme that I had about that game, and it's going to tie to some other games too, but it really was overarching. I came out about that game was, I don't feel like anybody came out of that game feeling good about their team. Either one of those games. I don't think anybody did. I was looking on Threads yesterday. I do that from time to time. Anyway, Jamel Hill has sent a tweet, and I'm reading it now, and she says, so after beating the Lions, is the media going to spend this week talking about the Eagles like they're 2-8 instead of 8-2? And the answer is, yeah, pretty much. That's what we're going to do. Except it's not really so much that we're going to talk about the Eagles like they 2-8. We're going to talk about them like they got a 2-8 offense that has 8-2 talent. Like, there's just they are an awful watch. Like, Ryan, I think that's maybe the thing that makes this most interesting. It's not simply that they're not good on offense.
They're hard to watch.
Yeah, you see why they're not good at offense. It ain't even like they trying to be good.
I remember I texted you this last night. They look like a team that needs to make a trade for a game-changing wide receiver. Yeah. Except they have one of those.
They got 2 of them.
2 of them. They drafted one. They traded for one.
They've got 2 game-changing wide receivers. They got a pretty good running back, right? They have a not bad quarterback. Like, so that's the thing I think we have to say about Hurts. And I'm curious if you agree with me about this one, where I do think that Hurts is a limited quarterback, and they're not even getting to the limit of the limited.
Right.
They just like they're telling everybody just don't mess nothing up. We keep talking about how mad A.J. Brown is. I assure you, everybody over there has got to be mad.
Right.
Like, I'm starting to like him even more because I feel like he taking the fall for the whole squad, right? He has decided, fine, I'll do it. Right. Now,
I'll say something.
If they all said something, maybe it would be a little bit better. The owner had to come down and talk to him. And I'm sure the owner started with, hey, I know.
Right.
I know. Here's my question for you, Ryan. Where do you think they had that conversation? And so Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, they said they put it out there. He had a meeting with A.J. Brown, and they basically were like, man, just don't do it on
You're asking if he got called to the principal's office?
Well, no. Did they? I'm not even sure if they get called to the principal's office, but like, well, yes.
Yeah.
There we go. A much nicer principal's office.
Yeah.
Right? Except I don't think it was ever going to be like the principal's office, because I would know if I was A.J. Brown that we're just going to have a chat here. Right? Because there ain't no way in the world he think this shit is okay. He the one paying for it.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if A.J. Brown has a problem and he gets paid for it, what do you think the guy that's paying for it feels about it?
And not just paying him, paying Hurts, paying Smith, paying Saquon Barkley.
All of these people to score like 15 points. So, like, did they come up in the office? And you know how the office will be set up, where it's the desk, but then there's also a very nice couch and coffee table.
Maybe with a nice view.
Right. Yeah. With snacks and all kinds of things. Like, would you like a latte? I could have somebody go make one for you.
Yeah.
Right. Like, was the chat along those terms? Did the owner come down to the locker room during practice and be like, hey, AJ, let's go talk over here to the side?
Yeah.
And they just posted up. Was it like when they had that team meeting?
I was about to say it was in the parking lot.
They actually just met in the parking lot, right? And then when Jeffrey Lurie is like, hey, man, just not in front of everybody. Because look, that was the ESPN rule, right?
Right.
Just not in front of everybody. Like, the only times they ever called me was stop fighting with your colleagues in
front of God and everyone.
Yes, like that was kind of like that. I told I guess I wasn't here, but I was telling the Chris Broussard. Did I tell the Chris Broussard story on here?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
You did not use his name, but yes, you told that story.
Okay, it was Chris Broussard. Okay, we're homies, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But they were just like, "Come on, man." Or at one time, I was giving it to Darren Ravel once, and they were like, "Hey." That's the only time they ever called was about that. I could have said what I wanted about anybody else, about anything else, but you messy ass blogs. That's when y'all show up, is when we start talking about each other.
People love media beef.
I hold this show back at every turn by me thinking it's just a little bit cheap and chintzy for me to jump into ESPN beef or to complain about ESPN or to talk to y'all about why y'all so mad at Stephen A. Smith and participate in that conversation, anything else. Brother, we would be doing bananas numbers. It makes no sense to me. You guys care more about that than you do about actual factual sports. I don't know what it is. Like, it used to be I got tired of it when I meet people and they want to ask me questions about this team, that team, whatever it is. Then it turned into they just want to know mess about not even about like, hey, man, is she as fine as she look like she is on TV? Nope, not even that. Maybe it's because you appreciate my decency. I don't know. Nah, y'all just want to get into some mess. That's all it is. And in line with that, Jeffrey Lurie is like, look, man, they don't really care that much about sports. They just want to talk about mess. So if you could give us a little less mess. And he said, fine, could y'all give me the ball? And Jeffrey Lurie said, hey, man, I can't do everything.
I can't change the world.
Right. Like, look, man, I'll actually play for the team. And that offense looked terrible. Now, granted, the Detroit Lions, I got thoughts on them. But anyway, the defense is good. And the defense played well. But the Eagles' offense is bad. And there's no way you win that game and come out of it feeling good. You just can't. On the other hand, the Dan Campbell play calling experiment, I don't fully understand how I feel about it. I thought that he got way too cute at points in that game. Like, for example, you got the ball inside the 10-yard line. It's like on the 5. It's third down. Why are you running out of the shotgun, Dan? As much as he is, man's man, right? I owe an apology to Big Brain Ben. Because apparently it's Dan Campbell with the big brain. And buddy, don't nobody want that from you. What are you talking about? Like, I saw somebody make the point about Megan Thee Stallion that now that she's, in love, that if she think anybody want to hear her rap about that shit, she got this game messed up, right? I understand that completely, right? 100% totally get that. Dan Campbell, don't nobody hire you to be the coach to run out of the shotgun on 3rd and goal from the 5. Just throwing it out there. At the same time, Jared Goff, they knocked him off his square and he was done for. He just didn't have it. But I did not come away from this game feeling like those are two very good teams. I did come out of that thinking the Eagles defense is monstrous. And shout out to Howie Roseman, who seemed to figure out, okay, why would I trade for things on offense that we're not going to use? That wouldn't make any sense. Why don't I just make this defense a little bit more terrifying? Go get Jalen Johnson. Terror.
Right.
Great job.
Yeah, I mean, and also, that plan of let's draft guys from Georgia.
Yes.
Seems to work.
So it's funny because I joke about it with the Bengals, where the Bengals notoriously have a bare bones scouting department.
Right.
And they just got a bunch of guys that you could watch with bunny ears on their TVs. Guys that go to places like Ohio State, Clemson, LSU. Like, they're not digging into crates.
If they didn't solve the ESPN YouTube TV thing, they wouldn't be able to scout.
No, they drafted everybody that you would draft.
Right.
And by the way, generally great decisions, right? Like, not decisions that you would overthink, but Jamar Chase, if it came down to who do you take, Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell, you would take Jamar Chase.
Correct.
Right? And they did.
Yeah.
Like, those are the kinds of picks that they made. But yeah, the Eagles were just like, wow, we went down to Georgia and they had a zillion really good players. They even drafted a couple guys from Georgia that aren't that good.
Yeah.
They just keep giving it a try. They got the 2 defensive tackles from Georgia. They got Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
They got him. I feel like they got Malachi Starks. He went to Georgia, right?
Right.
And he's not that good.
Right.
But like, it's a great place to start from. If Georgia says you're good, maybe you're good. But they're doing that. They've got that. Their offense is not good. The Broncos seem to be basically the same version of that team. And I understand this, guys. If you go look at that box score, it's going to tell you that Bo Nix was pretty good / just fine. And I understand why you would think that. He is not good, right? Even if he played pretty good in that game, he ain't it. And it wasn't like watching that game, you got the feeling like he was it. He was not, okay? But look, they put up 22 points and they won that game. He is not it. I need help understanding what I'm supposed to do with the Chiefs, who just a couple of weeks ago, I was pretty sure that they were back and they were the best team in the AFC. And by the way, I think it is possible that they're the best team in the AFC. Mahomes did not play a very good game. Mahomes had a couple of big shots that were there that we have grown accustomed to him making and that he simply missed. Like, there were many ways in which the Chiefs could have won this game. This is the weirdest thing. You're never going to have a situation where you're going to say something like this very often. It is still possible that they are the best team in the league. I mean, in the AFC. I mean, leave it at that. It's still possible. Ryan, the only problem is it's going to take a lot for them to make the playoffs.
Right. They probably need to go, they're 5-5. They probably need to go 5-2, maybe even 6-1.
Okay, so try this. Here's where it gets fun. Playoffs start today. 7 teams going to the playoffs. Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Steelers, Bills, Chargers, Jaguars. We got 3 teams at 5-5. Okay, and just to let you know what 5-5 is, the fucking Dolphins are 4-7. Okay, you're this close to being them.
Yeah.
5-5 is the Texans, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. Okay. Somewhere between 2 and 3 of those teams are not going to the playoffs.
Right.
Like, it is entirely possible that Patrick Mahomes and
Lamar
Jackson are going to be at the crib for the playoffs. Right? It's looking like, listen to this. Quarterbacks if the playoffs started today. Bo Nix, Drake May, Daniel Jones, the ghost of Aaron Rodgers or
Mason Rudolph,
the new Josh Allen that looked like the old Josh Allen, pin in that. Whatever the hell Justin Herbert is.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence, who's a player.
Yes.
In the NFL, right? That's what it's looking like over there. But again, I didn't come out of this feeling great about the Broncos. I didn't come out of this feeling great about the Chiefs. What I did come out of it thinking, though, and this is a very interesting question in this day and age, is this possible? Can you 2,000 Ravens your way to a championship? because it appears that is what the Broncos and the Eagles are going to try to do. We are going to try to hold you guys to 17 points a game and cobble together the rest of it. And by the way, we might be able to do it. Right, you have the guys, but can you do that in 2025 NFL football? Because if you can, everybody building teams wrong. Like now again, the Eagles just have an overwhelming level of talent. And again, when they got another pass rusher. The Broncos, who I promise you, have the most amazing defense with a bunch of dudes. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like I watched this Bonito guy. He seems to be very good. I hope he doesn't rob me one day, because if he does, I couldn't tell the cops shit. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about any of these guys. Like, I'm looking at all the names. How are you this good? And I don't know who anybody is except for my man that y'all keep picking on. How many flags did they call on Riley Moss?
They kept showing the graphic. He had the most DPI calls in the league, 7 this year and two yesterday.
Oh my God. And one of them, come on, man. At least one of them. And speaking of that, the Lions had a chance to get the ball back, and they called such a janky pass interference call on Rock Ya-Sin at the end there. And it's so crazy. Like, why would you think it was pass interference just because the Eagles couldn't catch the ball? They can't never catch the ball.
Yeah. Errant pass to A.J. Brown, that's their offense.
And it was a terrible call to me by the Eagles. You knew you weren't going to make anything happen. You should have made them burn that last time out. Like, the Lions are going to get the ball back and have one timeout and an off chance that they could have made something happen. There was another terrible pass interference. It was easier when I didn't have a team. Anyway, are they going to try to, like, defense their way to a championship? And if they are, is anybody else trying to do that? This is a tease into another block. I don't think anybody could come out of the weekend feeling worse about themselves relative to how they felt going into the weekend than fans of the Seattle Seahawks.
I got a text from you. Does that say Darnold's thrown 4 interceptions?
Yes, that is exactly the text. I have been watching Chiefs and Broncos, and then I came home from Nick's house. And so, Nick got all the screens, right? It's like Buffalo Wild Wings over there. Like, you can watch all the games. I typically don't watch football like that. I just got the one. But this is the rare time where it was like multiple games, not that I simply wanted to watch, but that I would like to have paid attention to.
Right.
And it turned out to be everything going on over there. But anyway, I'm not really paying attention to Rams Seahawks, which is honestly that was the game with the best teams, one would have argued. Like, I think we were talking coming into that game that they may be the best 2 teams. Okay. I look up, I see what the score is. I'm like, oh, okay. I go on the box score, and I see that Sam Darnold has 4 interceptions, and it's the third quarter.
And they were bad. And they were bad interceptions. It's not like the arm put interceptions or DB making great. It's you're playing someone who's a lot worse than Madden interceptions, where they're just thrown in the linebackers.
And what we have learned here is that I have made this point before. You can get better, but you can't become a new person.
Right.
Like, that's the thing about quarterbacks and a lot of these guys. They can get better, but they can't become different. They can't become new. And what your hope had to be from Sam Darnold after watching the first 6 years of his career was that somehow he would become something different, right? He got better. He's still who he was, because those look like Sam I'm seeing Ghost Darnold plays and interceptions. When I went back and got a chance to check him out, I'm like, oh. Yeah, he's not terribly different. He just got better. And Ryan, does this also perhaps apply to Matthew Stafford?
Yeah.
Because Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in that game, and the Seahawks lost that game by
2 points. Yeah, well, missed a field goal at the gun. Like the Seahawks just that field goal. And yeah, you with it looked like Michael McDonald. We talked about this going into the game. They might have the 2 best defenses in the NFL.
They might. Yeah. They might. But Matthew Stafford looked not like Matthew Stafford in the sense that he didn't give the ball away in the course of this, because apparently he's having one of those years. where I just don't throw interceptions anymore.
Right.
Right? Like this happens. I want to watch Nick Foles have one of those years, right? This goes where like, okay, I don't do this right now. Stafford was 15 for 28 for 130 yards.
Ugh.
Yeah, like they did not look great either. Are both of these teams going to try to Baltimore Ravens their way into success? Is that what is that going to be the strategy that they have to employ? But I don't feel like anybody comes out of that game feeling much better about their team. I don't think anybody came out of Buffalo, Tampa Bay feeling better about their team. But for Buffalo, ooh, is it going to be like this for the rest of the year? Because this is 2 straight weeks that we have had a 2020 Josh Allen sighting. We're this close to him throwing Hail Mary bombs in overtime to a square body in the playoffs, Josh Allen. Now, granted, we also got this new and improved Josh Allen. But do you remember earlier this year when people were trying to make the honest-to-God argument that Josh Allen was playing quarterback as well as anybody had ever played quarterback in the history of the NFL?
Right.
Ain't nobody saying that right now.
No.
That's not it. Like, he's that dude. But are they just asking for him to do too much?
And they're at the point now, they're healthy scratching receivers. Their tight ends are getting hurt. They have an awful run defense. So if Josh Allen's going to carry, he's going to have to score 35 points every playoff game.
They're going to play a lot of games on the road, and that run defense part. Look, there's nothing worse that you can say about a football team than they can't stop the run.
Right.
Like, if you think about this, there's nothing that feels more demoralizing to watch. You have eliminated all the risk, but still allowing for the possibility for explosion.
And you're watching your quarterback just sit there for 10 to 15.
Over there on the sideline. You know,
it's Buffalo, so they're gonna have a big old jacket.
Right. He probably tired of being out there with them cats anyway.
Yeah.
But they can't stop a nosebleed on the ground, but it was fun to watch. It was highly entertaining to watch what the Josh Allen show was. And when he had that crazy flick play that he tried to make at that point, he had the 2 interceptions that he had were not good. Even the one that was on 4th down, that was not a good interception. They can keep talking about how he accounted for 5 touchdowns, and that's cool, but it was all over the place. Tampa Bay, they was running on them with the dude that I ain't even heard of, the Sean Tucker guy. Like, he was out there looking like did he wear number 44 at Syracuse? Because he was out there looking like Jim Brown. Like, did he get the Floyd Little jersey? You know what I'm saying? Like, were they allowing him? Or was he just a dude that went to Syracuse? But nah. And it's funny. Tampa Bay has 2 examples of better, but are they the same? And that is Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles.
Right.
Right? Like Todd Bowles, this is...
You can get better, but you can't change.
Yeah. This is the question, but oh my God, just for all of them, I'm just looking at it like Todd Bowles. Remember when Todd Bowles had to go for 2 a couple of times in this game, right?
Yeah.
And you know he hated it. He hated it so much just for them to like not get it.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing. Just for you to not get it, I kept having to go for 2.
Yeah. Especially if you don't get the first one, you got to keep going, and you can see him on the sideline just being miserable.
What is this, man? Like, what are we doing? But that was another one where it was just kind of like, hey, man, nobody can feel good about the team that we came out of here with. Nobody can. So is it just that time of year, or the Bears? They still got that horseshoe in their Ursa Keister.
Yeah. And
they got another win. This J.J. McCarthy
thing. Yeah, I was about to say, talking about quarterbacks who are not it.
I mean, there's still time, right?
He's probably had like 5 starts, not even.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this. Sam Darnold, everybody who's on the don't they feel stupid for getting rid of Sam Darnold, did you watch this game that just happened? Right? Like, what they saw with Sam Darnold, I imagine, is a full-on understanding and realization that this can only go so far with this guy, right? That everybody knows and understands it can only go so far with this guy. So we're just not going to do that. How about that? We're going to roll the dice on the kid. It's a 15, and I think that's the problem, is that it's a 15-year play, not a 1-year play. And our brains can only look at football through the lens of a 1-year play. That's it. Speaking of entertaining, I don't know how much you got to watch Jameis. We got the full Jameis. The full Jameis,
yes. Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing about Jameis. If nothing else, Jameis is decisive. He just doesn't make great decisions.
Correct. He likes finality.
He decides, though.
Correct.
He hit him with a Harlem Shake. Like, look, man, Joe Flacco was in line with this, and I agree with this more than ever. If I'm going to run a team and I'm going to get a backup quarterback, it's going to be a fun one.
Right.
Like, we're probably going to lose.
Might as well throw it around.
Yeah, why not have a good time? Everybody has a good time when Jameis is there. If you're going to lose, you might as well be fun, right? That's what Jameis did. Meanwhile, Packers, you guys aren't having any fun, are you?
No.
Can't be. And by the way, I didn't think Jordan Love played badly in this game.
He just gives you such high highs that you expect so much more, and he has not done that for a few weeks.
And dude, man, he's throwing the ball to like people who came to the game. You know what I mean? Like, if you showed up to the game and the jersey that you bought was a number 4 eligible receiver, hey man, how'd you like your dreams to come true? Right? Like how'd you like that? We're out here just making everybody feel good. How would you feel about that? That was what it seemed like again for that team. Like, it feels like that's a team that everybody knows this isn't. I don't even know the right word to use, but this isn't it. Because they was down to the wire with the Giants. Like, the Giants had the opportunity to go ahead and win that game. They just did not pull that off, but it was there.
The coachless, quarterbackless New York Giants.
You're right.
Yeah.
There's nobody there to even check roll.
Yeah, I don't even know who the interim is.
Kafka.
Oh yeah, to give the OC a shot.
Yeah, that's how you know that they fired Brian Daboll for messing up the rental car.
Yeah,
because they kept the same offense.
They didn't put the adult who's like the random staffer in charge.
Yeah, like, linebackers coach.
Yeah, exactly.
They did not give him the job. No. They gave that job. They were just like, no. The problem is not what you think it is. By the way, Mason Rudolph is probably going to play because they think Aaron Rodgers got a broken left wrist. And the idea that Mason Rudolph still plays NFL football is kind of bananas.
They've done this experiment with him like 4 different times. He's been there forever.
But what he is a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And what he is that we used to have in the NFL that we don't have anymore is he's the long-term backup quarterback. Like, if Mason Rudolph has any coach in him, he can have this job for, like, he'll work with the Steelers forever. Gary Kubiak just hitched his wagon to John Elway and rode that for decades.
I mean, he has been like, I feel like, especially because they keep trying to bring in starters.
Yes.
Like, so like they did one of these with Trubisky. I feel like he almost he left and then came back. He did a year in Tennessee.
That's right.
Yeah. Just been there forever.
Remember that time Myles Garrett tried to take his head off? That happened. That happened. Also, what's up with your man Jamar Chase spitting on people?
It's been a long year in Cincinnati.
Yo, so the trick bag is he obviously spit on him.
Right.
Is there a world of plausible, but I didn't mean to?
Like an Elmer Fudd situation?
Okay. Yes. That is for a succotash kind of thing. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. All right. So this is what I'm saying on that. You'll never convince Jalen Ramsey of this.
Correct.
Right? Don't even bother with that one.
Yeah.
You just need to apologize no matter what you tried to do. Is it possible, though, to an uninvested party that this happened? I don't know. Yeah, that was all bad.
Tough luck.
I can't. But see, here's the thing about it. It's a tough year for Cincinnati, yes. But y'all, yes, and y'all are losing. But hey, man.
At least you're getting him the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
He's happier than AJ Brown.
He only had 3 for 30. That's the one thing. But at least they went. Like, that's a great question. Who's having a worse year? 8-2 AJ Brown or 3-7 Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, who, by the way, wow, it's 79 catches, but it's only 861 yards. He's averaging 11 yards a catch. And they're losing.
Not happy.
Yeah, but not AJ Brown. What if you could consistently find whatever it is you're looking for right away? We're talking everything from parking spots to holiday gifts to jackets or jeans that fit perfectly. Imagine how much time you'd save. While you may never instantly find these things, if you're hiring, you can find qualified candidates right away, time and time again with ZipRecruiter. And today, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Bomani. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology works fast to find top talent. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can unlock top candidates' contact info instantly. Want to know right away how many qualified candidates are in your area? Look no further than ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Bomani. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Bomani. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Let's be honest. It's hard to stay healthy during the holiday season. Crowded airports and travel cause strain on our systems. Darkness and shorter days may throw off your rhythm, and holiday meals mean getting lost in sweets and snacking. That's where AG1 comes in. But what is AG1? AG1 Next Gen is a daily health drink clinically shown to support gut health and fill in common nutrient gaps. 1 scoop in the morning with 8 to 12 ounces of cold water adds up to whole body health support from 75 plus vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food sources ingredients. AG1 isn't just another supplement. It's a daily micro habit that supports whole body health in 1 scoop. Here's how to make it yours. Head to drinkag1.com/Bomani to get a free welcome kit with an AG1 Flavor Sampler and a bottle of Vitamin D3+K2 when you first subscribe. That's drinkag1.com/Bomani.
All right, let's get to some more stories from the weekend. Shedeur Sanders got some action as Dalen Gabriel went out with a concussion. Had a tough time, 4 for 16, 47 yards and an interception. Bo, were you surprised by this performance by Shedeur?
I mean, it's an impossible situation for him, as it typically is for anybody in that situation, right?
Right.
You haven't played any NFL football.
You haven't practiced with the starters ever.
No. Yeah, it was going to look bad, right? What you'd hope was for like some flash here and there. And he had that 120-yard pass that probably would make you feel good. But the idea that he hasn't been practicing with starters doesn't sound nearly as crazy to me as it does to everybody else. So
they're setting him up to fail hive.
Oh, I just don't understand why everybody thinks that the world is against this rich kid. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not, I don't understand the grand conspiracy against somebody who kind of makes money for people if he gets out there. I would think that they want him to be good, if anything else. Now, look, Stefanski clearly does not believe. And I do believe that Stefanski probably has an investment in being right. I do this job. I fully understand being invested in wanting to be correct, right? Like, I know how that goes. But they started the season with him as their 4th team quarterback. The 4th team quarterback is not going to get reps with the starters. I do not believe. He then comes into the year and he is the 3rd team quarterback. Okay, I don't really think that player is going to get reps with the starters. They traded Joe Flacco and they made Dalen Gabriel the starter, and that made Shedeur Sanders the 2nd string quarterback. But the 1st string quarterback is a rookie who clearly needs reps. I'm not surprised that Shedeur does not get reps under those circumstances. The bottom line is, whether you think this is fair or right or not, They don't think he's got a future.
Right.
They don't.
And they go to work with him every day.
Yeah. They don't believe it. I don't think that they're trying to run him out of the league. They don't think that there's a future in him. They think there's a future in Dillon Gabriel. Now, I don't think that there's a future in Dillon Gabriel, but for whatever reason, they do. And so they are treating him like there's a future. Basically, they like, we need to figure out what we got in Dillon Gabriel because otherwise we got to go get a quarterback. There's nothing that they believe that Shedeur Sanders can show them to make them believe that, hey, maybe we don't need to go draft a quarterback next year. We've got this guy. Now, I would think that by now they would have learned this also about Dillon Gabriel, and I think there's a good chance that Shedeur starts next week, depending on what kind of concussion Dillon Gabriel has. C.J. Stroud's been out for 2 weeks with a concussion, by the way. Like, these things happen. Okay. But we're reached a point now where I don't think Shedeur is that good. I don't think he's going to be that good. I think it's obvious. But if you think he's going to be good and then you see him and he doesn't look good, is it always going to be yeah, but? Like at every turn, is this going to be yeah, but? And this idea that he, of all people, is this aggrieved party that is being held back. He with the beloved father, right? Like it would be different if people didn't like Deion.
Which is not the case.
People love Deion.
Yeah.
Right? And in part because Deion is a full-on devotee of football culture. Right? He is the ultimate promotion of what football can do for you and everything else. But I don't buy this idea that they try to keep their jobs over there. They really, really, really try to keep their jobs over there, and it's not a guarantee. And so I see no reason to chastise him for the way that he played. It was always going to be tough for him. I think that it would be wise for the Browns, since they have nothing to play for and Dillon Gabriel's coming off a head injury, to go ahead and give Shedeur a week. Let him play. Y'all going to lose regardless. Right? Like, so that's your best argument, Shedeur Hive. We sorry anyway. Why not have a good time?
They do play the Ravens next week, so they could squeak out a win somehow, some way.
They could, but I'll tell you, the Ravens defense has...
sorry, not the Ravens, the Raiders. The Raiders.
Okay.
They played the Ravens.
Yeah, I was just about to say, damn, a home and home.
Yeah.
But you're right. They could squeak out a win, and maybe that's why they don't want to play Shedeur, because again, they might have a Tebow situation on their hands. They become afraid. But look, if Short Stack got a head injury, then go ahead and play Shedeur. See how it goes. Y'all probably gonna lose no matter what happens. Go ahead and see how it goes. But I can't handle this. I just can't handle this idea that somebody did something to him or is consistently doing something to him. You have to show me a lot more to show me that.
Yeah. All right. Let's move to college football. Alabama lost to Oklahoma 23-21, their second loss of the year. Bomani, is Kalen DeBoer coaching for his job in the Iron Bowl?
Hold on. Let's be clear. Yes. All right. Now, this is what I mean by that. Is his job in danger? No. It's not in danger because Auburn is bad.
Very bad.
That is why.
Another place with a substitute teacher.
Yeah. That's the other part. They don't have a coach either. But that is why, if they lose this game, yes, there are giant problems. This would be like losing to the Citadel. This would be bad news for them. I read what's my man's name that works for the Alabama papers? Casagrande?
Yes.
I didn't read the article, but Casagrande's headline about the loss was that this is the dumbest Alabama loss in years or something like that. And when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, this is Bama. This is what it is. You lost a close game to a very good team. Shout out to you, Brent Venables, because we were ready to run you off of this job and say that you didn't have what it took to get it done. And the truth is,
he may be the best hire of that group. I mean, they were already riding off Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley's about a dumb or two loss away from being run out of USC. And, like he's got Oklahoma humming.
Oh, no, Lincoln Riley's a dead man walking.
Yes.
Because he don't know how to talk to people. Like he's already doing bad press conferences, right? He's every time somebody's rolling their eyes every time. And he's out here doing Lane Kiffin stuff where they're dressing up the backup quarterback in a putter uniform so they could run fakes and put it on film.
Unserious.
Right, which Lane Kiffin did, and we all said he was unserious. Like we roundly, it wasn't long after that Lane got fired on the tarmac. I think it was a different season, but it was I did a video about that, and my question was who would do such a thing, and the only answer was Lane Kiffin, and now Lincoln Riley is the guy who does these things. But Venables, hey man, you know what Oklahoma looks like? They could consistently be a 10-win team in the SEC, and I think that is dead in line with what should have been expected when they joined this conference. It was one thing to be in the Big 8/Big 12 where you have no actual built-in advantages, but your Oklahoma and your level of want to could carry you through to what you needed to do. It's different where you sit on the second worst recruiting territory in the entire conference. Like, you tell me if I'm wrong. I think Arkansas is the only school that really, Arkansas and Missouri.
Right.
Are the only schools sitting on worst territory.
Yes, I'd agree.
And you just beat Alabama in back-to-back seasons. Now I tell you this: you ain't gonna lose nobody 3 times in a row, Caleb DeBoer. Like if you make it through this year, y'all got Oklahoma next schedule. Yeah. No. What you're not about to do is have a bunch of guys who leave school having never beat blank.
Yeah,
I don't care who the blank is. That's not going to work.
That doesn't work in Tuscaloosa.
No.
All right, sticking in the SEC, Texas A&M police had to remove a Texas State trooper from his game assignment following an incident where he made physical contact with 2 South Carolina players during tunnel during the game. Bo, you said you had an interesting observation about this.
First of all, I want to send a shout out to my guy Lawrence. Lawrence, who sent me a text, Saturday. Sometimes I take Saturdays off from college football because, daddy got to have a life too. You feel me? So anyway, I'm not watching. I get a text from my man Lawrence and was like, that's the Texas A&M we all know. And I look at the score, and the score is 30-3 in the third quarter. And I'm like, hell yeah, right? Something told me, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, right? But in my head, I was thinking that it's too late for A&M to be an 8-win team this year. So they just going to need something to happen to make them feel like an 8-win team, right? En mi mente es, que yo pensaba. And they came back and won that game. So thanks for nothing, Lawrence. Like, really, I can't possibly thank you less than. Anyway, in the midst of this game, Tennessee had a player. I think his name is Nick Harbor. Does that sound right, Ryan? I know.
Yeah, that's who it is. It's Nick.
Nick Harbor. Okay, so Nick Harbor catches a touchdown. I think this is to make it 23-3 or something like that. But anyway, he gets a touchdown and he runs into the tunnel. And the reason he runs into the tunnel is because he's got a tweaked hamstring. And so his partners run behind him to walk with him. And so they start walking back. And as he's walking back, inexplicably, I think it was a cop, but you can never tell with Texas A&M because they got a pretend army. So it would not surprise me if Texas A&M had a police club. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of kids, maybe not even kids. They might be grown people like the band who just dress up like police officers and walk around with badges on, and they got a mascot dog that they walk around. Totally on the board with those weirdos. Anything is possible in College Station. Anything is possible, except for like a Democrat. But anyway, so the alleged policeman is walking up the tunnel. The South Carolina players are walking back. And I don't know if the policeman was just mad because them Aggies was losing, but they did one of those like shoulder bumps, right? Where you walk past each other and you bump into each other with your shoulders. And the guy that's playing a football team and has a tweaked hamstring and has on a shoulder pad, he don't even really notice that this happens. The cop, however, like turns around and gives him it was like a 2-hand shove, right? And so this happens. Everybody sees it. Some account associated with those weirdos says that I think it's the actual police force said that officer will no longer have game day duties, right? He would be relieved from his game day duties. People on the internet was hot. Ryan Clark had to go in the confessional room and crank out a video about the whole thing. Chipper Jones, of all people, he called that policeman boy, and that man is white. You ain't see that?
I did not see Chipper Jones.
Oh, man. Let me look that up right fast because I don't have the Twitter logged on to this computer. And he said something about, like, he really, really, really brought the hammer to this police officer about this. I saw, yeah, go ahead and read that.
This idiot needs to be unemployed tomorrow. Clown. This ain't a high school football game. ... Boy.
Yes. Yes.
I gotta be honest. If Chipper Jones was calling somebody boy, I did not think this would be the person.
Right. I was terrified at first.
I assumed Chipper Jones had what I'd like to call a Phil Mickelson timeline.
Yes. Yes. I mean, he might. That's the thing about it. This was a bipartisan issue. Everybody being so mad at this police officer for bumping into this guy. And my only question is, where is this fucking energy when they're killing us? Like, we show people videos of police shooting people in cold blood. And they're like, hey, he might have feared for his life. You never know. I have seen every excuse in the world for the police actually shooting us and nobody coming and standing beside us. But a wide receiver from South Carolina gets bumped into and everybody wants to write a letter to the manager? Can somebody explain to me how this happened?
You're saying this is the one time they will actually want to defund the police is when they hit a football player?
I don't get this. Like, this is mind-blowing to me. Like, where we were 10, 12 years ago with everything else, right? It done got so bad, we stopped talking to y'all about the police killing us because it became clear that y'all didn't want to hear it no more. So what we need now, if we can get some police reform, is police bumping into people? Is that what we need, right? Do I need to go into the subway and just have a policeman bump into my shoulder? And then all of a sudden, Zoran could be like, I told y'all we need to defund them. You was right, Zoran. And then we make some changes? Is that what it takes? I just have no idea how this became the thing that made everybody not like the... I saw people mad about this who ain't say nothing about George Floyd. And by the way, that one was pretty bipartisan too. This, however, was unanimous. And it is your friendly reminder. People don't actually like the police. There's not, unless they are doing something for you in that moment. People don't really like the police. They just, I don't even want to finish that sentence because it'll be so sad.
All right, voicemail line's open. Got a couple good ones. I think you'll like this first one.
Hey, Bomani. Just wanted to ask this quick, well, two questions actually. I'll make it pretty quick and easy here. First, after watching the Atlanta Falcons once again give up yet another crushing defeat at home, my question was not necessarily when you realized, or was it just a collage of events that happened that finally made you get off that narcotic, or was there one specific event that you were just like, look, I can't do this anymore. That's enough. And my second question was, have you ever considered, like, you know how for the people that be on the, these websites where you gamble, right? And there's this Hope NY. Have you ever considered opening up a line for Atlanta Falcons fans to get off that narcotic? You know, to be able to talk to somebody that, you know, has been through the struggles and the ills and all that jazz of being a devoted Falcons fan and deciding that this should be enough. Have you ever considered that, and is that something that you have thought about putting together? I don't know why I'm taking a shot at the Atlanta Falcons fans. I'm a Bears fan, which is kind of funny. But anyway, has that been something that you ever thought about? Thanks, and always been a fan of the show. Bye.
Was there a single event? The quarterback went to jail for fighting dogs. They replaced him with Joey Harrington. Fighting dogs. Was there an event? Fighting dogs. And you're like, would you start up a helpline for the Atlanta Falcons fans? Son, I don't hang out with losers. Like, at this point, that's a choice.
Call 877-LOSER.
Yeah, like, you keep doing that right there. That's a choice. I can't help you. You ain't looking for help. You want to feel like you just want to lose. You're going to do that without me.
All right, here's our next one.
Hey, Bo, it's E from the DMV. It's got a music question for you. So we heard you say KRS is the best rapper, Outkast is the best group, and I believe your favorite group, and B.O.B. is the best single. So what do you think the best rap album ever is? And who is your favorite solo rapper and your favorite album ever? Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
God damn, did he say and an album cover too?
I think it was single and album. Now,
Okay. All right, so it's a solo MC.
Solo MC and then album.
Okay. So the greatest album is the one I don't have a great answer for. That's harder than anything else for me.
Yeah, where do you even start?
I mean, if you go, like, I can give you a handful, like we're kind of ballparking in it. So Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Like, that's on the list. The Chronic, that's on the list. I actually don't put like Illmatic, Ready to Die, that run. That's not on my greatest of all time, like perhaps list. Scarface the Fix, that for me is on the list. It has potential. Outkast, Aquemini, it's on the list, right? It can be there. There's so many. Like, we're working on a series right now on Great Year in Rap 1996. It's so many albums to go through just off of that list to try to come up with to just come up with one is like borderline impossible. It's so hard to do. Now, let's just say he did say album cover. I don't know if it's the greatest, but I know the most unforgettable one. That's Old Dirty Bastard Return to the 36 Chambers with the picture of him on the food stamp card. It's tough to beat that one. There's also shout out to Mercedes. I don't know if it's the greatest, but we'll always remember it, even if we never listen to that record. And so for those of you who don't know, I'm going to tell the story for you youngsters, okay? So when No Limit was popping, the thing about No Limit was they advertised crazy heavy. And so there would always be a bunch of ads in the source. And in the album covers of No Limit, they would always have album covers of like albums that was coming soon. But it was clear that those albums had not been conceptualized. They just had a cover and a title. That's all they had come up with. And so they had this woman named Mercedes. And Mercedes had an album cover standing in front of a Mercedes with some very, very short shorts. And she was bent over, and the title was Rear End. And they teased that Mercedes album for years and years and years. Now, let's see. Did that album ever? It actually did come out. But I feel like they kept promoting it well after it actually came out.
Some movies you got to sell off the poster, you know?
Yeah, that's all it was. That's all it was. That was the whole thing. So that's the most memorable album cover of all time. That I will tell you. And I am looking at the titles of these songs, and it is very clear what time it was for Mercedes Rear End. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
All right, here's our last one.
Hey, what's going on, Bomani? This is Matt from OKC. So I wanted to leave a message about the time you tried to test your dad. This is back in 1998. I was 16 years old, and my dad had retired from the military. So, you know, he's got some gray hairs and stuff, starting to look a little older. I'm taller than him at this point. I'm like 6 foot. He's about 5'10". But he's 200 and I'm 130. So, little weight discrepancy. Anyhow, we had gotten into an argument about something or other, and I was feeling froggy. I was like, man, this is my time. So after he retired from the military, he became a juvenile detention officer. So he knew a bunch of holds and wrist locks and all this stuff, which at 16 I didn't really account for before I made this decision. But anyhow, we had gotten to arguing about something. So I went to push him. right? And I didn't even complete the push. By the time I had made contact with his chest, the next thing I knew, I was facing the other direction, and my feet were off the ground. Now, remember, he's 5'10", and I'm 6 foot. Now, we're about the same age. I'm 44. So what had happened, and I didn't even realize it, he had turned me around and put me like in a rear naked choke. And back then, this was before UFC. So there was no protocol on what to do. I didn't know to fight the hands. I didn't even know like what a tap was. So I'm just there and can't do nothing about it. So I start to see stars, and I go out. The next thing I remember is being on the floor, curled up like fried shrimp, like trying to figure out what happened. And I look up, and my dad's standing over top of me. Now, keep in mind, he's black, and I'm mixed. And he said to me, if you ever try that light skin shit again, you won't wake up. Yeah, man, so that's the time I tried to test my dad. Special shout out to your mom out here in OKC. She sounds like a real one. Glad that the city was able to honor her. All right, man. Love the show. Peace.
That man said there wasn't even UFC. There was no protocol on what to do. That's a fair point.
You had to learn the hard way what the protocol was.
Oh my God, your pops even entered into it with a dollop of that self-hate. You try that light-skin shit with me? Like, I'm not, oh man.
Can you imagine getting out of the military and deciding I'm going to go work at a juvenile detention center?
Hey man, that is I have nothing to fear.
That is.
So this is the thing about a juvenile detention center. I think about it as a place to work. I do kind of feel like as a grown-up, what do you have to fear? You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like these are a bunch of kids. I don't care how bad you think you are.
But
right?
that is a back talk university, though.
Yeah, that is all that is. What are these kids going to do? Talk back to me, right? Yeah, you can push your mama around. All right, but you can't. Nah, not me. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this here 3 times a week. Hit the voicemail line, 323-596-7767. We are here for whatever you wish to discuss. It's Ryan Brumley handling everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.